we have an all-in-one laptop, desktop computer with a broken screen. We already have the we ordered the screen, and we are going to start with the repair. So this is the screen we have. That's the one right there, brand new. So we have to replace that one with this one. I'm just gonna leave it on the side for right now. And we are going to start with this one right here. So this one is a Lenovo all-in-one computer. Right here is the power supply and the broken screen. You can see the customer said it fell off the ground and got damaged right here on the corner. So you can see this part right here is bad. It's just totally broken, and we are going to replace it now. Okay. It's an all-in-one computer, so these are a little hard to work on. Right here is the power supply, is where the connector goes. And to start with, we need to remove this little bracket right here. Just by pushing this one down like this. And this is going to be a Lenovo all-in-one. Okay, now we are going to disconnect the screen, the LCD. Okay, just like that. We disconnect that out of here, and we are going to remove this part right here, which is held by these 4 screws. Alright, and I always recommend you guys to keep track of your screws so we don't mix them up. We have 3 and one more right here. Four. Now we remove this part right here slowly. We click this one, and then we lift it just like this. Okay, so this is going to be an all-in-one Lenovo oh my, so 2019, I mean. So this is the one we are removing. We keep the screws with that one because we know what goes with it. We leave it on the side. And now we are going to start with the rest of the teardown. Alright, this is where a 2.5 hard drive or SSD was. Right there. Just a little latch right here where you can just remove, pull up. Again, just keep it on the side. And see, right now we don't have to be very careful for well, we always have to be careful, but right now the screen doesn't matter. Alright, and remove the rest, I guess we have to use a little tray tool. I use one of these blades. Okay, that one won't work. We need something to go a little deeper. I use this type of spatula. To pop the screen up. If you were working on something other than the screen, you gotta be very careful, and I will not recommend you doing it because these screens are very fragile, and as you can see, it'll break very easily. So if you have to replace a hard drive on these ones, it's gonna be a tough work without breaking the screen. In this case, we don't have to be very careful about it because the screen is damaged anyway. Let's try to make this one corner. Oops, it won't come off. There we go, just like that. Really really hard. From there we can work our way up here. There we go. Yeah, so these screens are very tight, and this is the camera. And if you're not careful about it, I mean, I wouldn't work on this one unless the customer agrees to make sure it'll you will break the screen. This is so tough. See, it's right there. How you break it. So it's going to be a tough, other than the screen, it will be a tough repair, a high risk repair. So I'm going to use this little spatula to keep working. Yeah, the fit is so tight. That you won't be able to remove the screen without breaking it. Need to grab something else to put it in. There we go. Even if we install the screen, we might have the risk of breaking it. The fit is super tight. Yeah, this bezel comes with the screen. Comes off with the screen. Something stuck. Yeah, there's no screw securing the back. And this part right here is all just one piece. So we'll see how. This is definitely a really tight fit, and let's try a different way. Okay, I'm going to start from here, from the bottom now. How's it going, Logan?
Transferring.
You can check out in the front. Maybe there's like stuff to clean. Maybe organize the front. Check the while waiting. Or are you on your break?
I'm gonna check this fella here. It's updated yet?
I think it's done.
Almost.
Okay, just let it be, and then that can go out for sale. Alright, so this is I'm trying to remove the screen from this one, and it's not letting me. It's super tight. I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous to put in the new one back in. Because it's going to, it might break. It might break. But we'll see how it goes. Okay. Just popping a little bit. Just going little by little. Like I said, if the screen breaks right now, it's not a problem. The problem is going to be when we put it back in. This is a really tough one. It's the first time I run into something like this in my 10 years of repairs. See, it's not giving up. We must be patient, stay patient, because we don't want to damage the case. super tight in there. Super tight. It's a high risk repair. It's not giving up. Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't think I'm missing anything. It's just the case is super tight in here. But for our video, we want to have to speed it up a little bit. Something keeping the case from coming off. But we'll just go around and around and around. Yeah, it's not going up. Definitely not giving up. These all-in-one computers are always hard to work with. It feels like this one is almost out, but it's not. This is a tough one. Okay. I think I found the problem here. I think this part right here comes out. Let's try it out. Yes. This is what I was missing. Alright, so this part right here in the back comes off, and I bet there's going to be some screws under. Alright. Wow. And we are almost super tight in there. There we go. We finally removed the bottom one right here. This was the problem. As you can see now, we have more screws. This one right here. These screws are the ones holding it. Okay. So we want to remove these screws. Keep them organized. Okay. We're going to remove this plate. It will come off like this. And this one will come off like this. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the screws. This one right here for this plate. I think we have to remove everything before we try to remove this part right here. Keep the screws together so we know what they belong to. Right there. One more here. And then one right here. Oh, there's one more right here. One more right here. Okay, we check. Okay, and it's coming off like this. Keep all the screws together right there, so we know where they belong. There's a couple of. Yeah, if you want to upgrade the SSD, right here, it's not gonna. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be good. Okay. Now we have to remove the motherboard. So we want to remove. Let's remove the speakers. Alright. And before I continue, I'll probably. Alright, disconnect these two connectors. keep them together. Let's see if I can remove now the screen. It should come off easier this time. Oh no. Let's see. Okay, we remove this one. We have the screen almost out all the way. There we go. I'm gonna put that one down there. And now we're working on removing the motherboard. So we're going to start with this screw right here. Let's remove the fan. We remove the fan. We leave this one here. Now we're going to remove the motherboard. We probably want to disconnect. Let's leave this one here. So set a cable. Keep it together right there. We keep the screws together. Right there. And now let's see, let's remove the motherboard. We keep everything together. Okay, so we want to remove this one. We remove the cooling system, and we want to replace the thermal paste since it's open. We disconnect Wi-Fi antenna. this one, let's keep it just like that together. Let's connect this cable. And always keep your screws together or close to the place where they go. Right there. And we put the motherboard over here. Alright, so now we have to remove all these screws right here. Another one right here. So we can remove this bezel. And then we keep everything together. Logan.
Yeah.
Can you check if this camera is recording? This one right here.
What are you looking for?
If this camera is recording.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's going.
Okay. Alright, I hope we have enough time. Okay, another screw right here. Lots of screws on this one. This is a really a lot of work. And there we go. So we're going to try to keep everything together here. So we are about to remove this little plate. Keeping the screws together. We have two more screws right here. So you always gotta be careful. And not to rush. Take your time. Okay, this one goes through. And we have to pull it this way. Alright, and now we're gonna put this one back together. So we get this back in place. That one. Let's see. Oh, come on. Drop that one in. Now we're gonna have to get this two in. And one more to go. There. Now remember, this one has to go from bottom to top. Like that. All right. I'm gonna do this one. There. Okay, this one goes over here. So the bottom ones. Some reason this one doesn't want to go in, and I don't want to force it because we don't want to cause any damages. Everything should go in smoothly. like that, I think. Alright, so it's all centered in place, and we're going to start putting, we're just going to put a couple of screws to keep stuff in place. So we can test the screen. There we go. So from now on should be a little faster. Wireless antenna. And the motherboard goes like that, sideways. We need to test the screen before we put everything back together, because if it's not working or it's broken or whatever, we don't want to go back and redo everything. The only thing we want is going to be image on the screen, so we need a couple of screws. There we go. Motherboard is in. Want to start these connectors. This one goes in here. Okay. Wireless antenna doesn't really matter right now, but just to keep everything together. Okay. This for the fan, system fan. Alright, and we are putting everything back together now. But before we do that, we want to have to test the screen. There we go. We connect the, plug the antenna back in place. Alright, and then this one needs to be in here. And the speakers doesn't matter. Okay, so this is how everything looks so far. And now we're gonna test the screen. In order for us to do that, we're gonna have to connect it here. To the power supply. And let's check it out. the fan spinning. That we'll see if the screen is on. And we have image. I hear noise. Alright. So I have to check the connections before, because computer's on, fan spinning. But there is no image. Everything's in place, all the connectors. Alright, I'm missing one connector. That's why we have to test before, because if you miss the connector or you forgot to connect something and then you put everything back together, you wanna have to start. So this is the one I forgot. I think that's gonna be the one for the main, the LCD. Alright, so we have that one in place. This is for this connector, so we don't need it. Alright, so that should do. That should give us the image we need. Always test. It doesn't matter if it's a laptop or desktop, all in one like this one. This is a lot of work. And then if something fails or you forgot something, you won't be able to, you're gonna have to tear everything down apart. So right now let's try that one out. Alright, power button is right here. And we have the image. We need it one more time for the camera. Have the image right now. The touch should work. There it goes. Touchscreen is working. So I'm going to shut it down. Okay, let's see. Come on. Okay. Plus 9. Logan, could you find again the live here? I got disconnected in the middle of testing the screen, so just get it back so I know we're back in place. We're back. All right, thank you. Okay, and so we were about to start testing. So what we're doing here is replacing the screen from an all-in-one computer. We're not done yet. We're halfway, almost. So this is the bad one. This one right here. So we want to replace that one. We are almost halfway. So right now we are going to test the screen to make sure everything is working before we put everything back together, because if we don't do that and we forgot to connect something like I did before with this one, we're gonna have to tear everything down and do it again. So we put these connectors back together just like that, and then power button is gonna be here. The fan is spinning, and oops, we have a screen, we have image, we have an image right there. We gotta make sure that the touch screen is gonna work. Restart my PC. Yep, obviously the touch screen works. So we have some progress. All right, so now we have the screen right here. Just touch screen, the touch is good, it's working. So we're gonna shut it down and then continue with repair. There we go. We're gonna disconnect the LCD. We remove the power supply, we put it on the side, and we continue with putting everything back together. All right, so this one right here, we want to apply new thermal paste here. Okay, and this is the one I normally use. I like using this one. I've been using it for years, and it's always good for me. I'm gonna clean the CPU. Clean the CPU. You want to clean the heatsink as well. Remove the old thermal paste. And now it's nice and clean. We apply the thermal paste. So normally the way I do it, I just put a little bit, like a line close to the edge. And then from there, just a little piece of plastic and spread it all over the place. just like this. Make sure the CPU is totally covered. Otherwise it'll overheat, and you don't want that. Make sure there's everything nice covered. Once you're done covering the whole thing, you can grab this one and use the reminder into the heatsink. Just like that. And now we are going to put it back in place. Just going to clean this one quick. Okay, now we have that. Let's see what else we need to put in. All of the screws, since we know that screen works. Make sure it's one in place. All right, we have two more here. Make sure there's nice and tight. Okay, so we have this one right here. Now we're gonna put let's put the back cover back in. Now with this one we gotta be very careful because this one is gonna be a tough fit. It's gonna be a really tight fit. Let's put the wireless antenna our way. So we can secure it in place. It's gonna be a little tough to get in. So always you gotta be careful because there are really tiny components that you can be damaged. And that's the wireless adapter right there. Now let's find a way to put this one back in place. Let's try to find a way to do it without breaking anything, especially the screen. Let's be very careful, and we're going to start from here, from the top. Make sure it's all the way in.